Today we want to run a roundtable discussion, and I think the key is it's supposed to be interactive and get a good flow of conversation going. The topic that we want to talk about is really around what we call jumpstart. A lot of customers that we talk to are in the position where they're at the certain stage of their cycle of developing their planning model, where they're unsure about which direction to go in. There's a lot of choices out there in terms of software. There's a lot of choices in terms of how solutions should develop, and really that's what this service is around. It's an accelerated business roadmap service, and enabling business functions to drive quicker and more accurate business decisions. Where this sits is we have a service library, because a lot of what we do is around supply chain improvements. We've worked with SAP solutions a lot, and we've worked with Anaplan solutions a lot. And what we find is that customers are at different stages of the journey in terms of adoption of those solutions. And really what we're focusing on today is really the first step of that in terms of Jumpstart. And my origin is, I was actually an engineer to start with, way back, from engineering into supply chain, primarily SAP solutions over the years. And more recently, as we developed our business, we've expanded into Anaplan as a solution as well. But we coordinate a lot with SAP, so we're on top of the latest developments in terms of IBP solutions, Ariba solutions, S4HANA solutions as well. Okay, right, so let's get going. The key of the roundtable is to make it an interactive discussion, relatively small groups. What we want to try and encourage here is a bit of discussion around our collective experience, our experiences and your experiences, and it's really an opportunity to dive into a specific topic. Right, so are you guys all connected to the internet on your phones? You're going to need your phones for this one.
Actually, yes. That's true.
So if you could...
So if you want to log on to the Wi-Fi, it's log on to...
Hilton Honors.
Hilton Honors, and then...
And I think it's February 2020.
Yeah. But just click on I have a promotion when the pop-up
promotion
comes
code.
up.
Yep.
So promotion code, and then log in from that promotion code with February 2020 with a capital F.
all one word.
If you've ever been to one of our events before, you'll know we're into doing Mentimeter surveys. So it's quite a bit of fun anyway.
Yeah.
What was the code to it?
February 2020.
Capital F.
And once you've managed to get it, just go onto your internet browser, and if you could go to www.menti.com. Yeah, make sure it's working. It's always a risk being down in the basement if you're going to get a decent connection. Right. Has anyone done Mentimeter before? Yeah, some of you have. So for those, just a little quiz to start with. Oh, okay. So which one is, I'm Riaz, which one's a fib about me? Which one's a fib? Okay, which is winning? See, it's a nice interactive tool. As we go through our discussions, we can...
It's working.
Yeah, so it's working. It's quite cool. Yeah.
So what's the code?
465629.
Wait, you're not allowed to vote on this one. You know Riaz pretty well. I can still vote.
He plays guitar, doesn't he? No? Badly. Okay.
You've heard it. No. Okay, so one of these is a fib. Have you all done? You all done? Okay, all done? Right, yeah. Which one was the fib? Well, okay. I wasn't born in Pakistan, so all the rest are true.
Quite a lot of people know you.
Well, no, that means they don't know me. I don't know.
Yeah. I designed jet flights.
Well, I used to work for an aerospace company, so that was my job right at the very beginning of my career. I have jumped into the River Thames for a triathlon, and I do play guitar badly. So there you go. So that's just a little one to warm us up. Okay, really, let's get going in terms of the main. the topic is really around what challenges do you face in developing your supply chain technology roadmap? Okay, I'm guessing most of you are here. There's a lot of vendors upstairs in terms of, looking at alternative software applications. What are the types of challenges that you guys face around, think of it in terms of people that need to be engaged, people within your organization, processes, are your processes robust? The systems that you've got, systems only plays a part of the problem. And what about your data? What about your reporting and all these things? So what are the challenges that you face around technology roadmap? Anything you want to add to that, Fred?
No, I think that's fine. It's typically, so just to give you an example, where we would come in, usually working, let's say, with SAP, we'd go to a client and the client's thinking about moving, let's say, from APO to Integrated Business Planning to IBP. So Olivehorse would come in and rather than just having, let's say, SAP run through the technology, we'd start to talk about how you actually align the technology to the business. So typical challenges you might get are understanding of the solution, understanding of the deployment cycle, resistance to change within the business. So those are the sorts of things we're trying to get out today and really create a view of where we think those stumbling blocks are.
So if you click onto the next one, you get a series of 10 options. Just type in your thoughts on this. So I'm going to enter a few here. And you guys enter a few as well. And as you hit submit, is anybody's working? Have you submitted yet?
Yep. What mark going up?
The count's going up. It's supposed to be.
It's supposed to go up.
Yeah, it's supposed to. Why is that not working?
Do you want to refresh?
Maybe hide image and just refresh it.
Oh, there we go. Sorry. So it's going to build up now as you go on.
Show it.
Yeah, show image. Okay,
Brilliant.
there we go. Right, so data seems pretty central. Okay, we can probably start clustering these at some point. Too many choices.
Cost, which goes to financialization, ability.
Visibility. Lack of funds.
Change management.
Okay, wow. I think we should have given a multi-choice option. There's a lot of too many choices. Yeah, too many choices. So what have we got so far? I mean, keep submitting. Alignment, standardization, declining market. I mean, some of the big ones that are coming out. I mean, data is the biggest one, isn't it? Resources.
Change management.
Resistance to change, I think, is pretty clear there as well.
Yeah, it's coming out bigger than
Cost, yeah. Getting the ROI, or the return on value, I think, is the buzzword at the moment.
Resources.
Visibility. What do you mean by visibility? Visibility of
I guess you could
types of solution that are out there, or
to the group generally.
yeah, resistance to change, lack of clear strategy. Wow, loads there. Very good. I think the ones that are standing out are visibility. So, cost, data, visibility, resistance to change. Rigid business case. I like that one.
Is anyone still inputting?
Yeah. Keep going, guys.
Right, finish.
Yeah. Should have gone for, one word won't work either. Process is not clear. Resources, I guess internal resources, getting the commitments from your internal team to spend time evaluating the problem. Okay, great. So I said that's probably it. We should probably choose a few of these, and what I would like to do is dive into these in a little bit more detail in the round tables. So
let's should we just take the big ones then? Everyone's agreement.
Yep.
I think visibility, cost, data, potentially resistance to
change. I mean, feel free, guys, to input in terms of things that you'd like to discuss in a bit more detail. So should we, yeah, anything? Should we go with that?
Yep.
Okay.
I think
Yep.
there's one thing fundamentally that's not coming out here. I
Mhm.
think the biggest risk is actually what problem are we trying to solve? Because we're all talking about supply chain technology.
Yep.
But actually, why do we want it? What are we trying to do with it? What are the issues?
Absolutely. Yeah. So what's driving the change? Yeah. Change for the sake of change is not really great, is it? And the vendor kind of pushing you that, from an SAP perspective, that the system's coming to an end is not really a great motivator for change either. Okay, so and in terms of you getting your stakeholders to buy in, right? You need to put a robust business case together. So shall we have that as one particular topic? Let's have that as one particular topic, which is the fundamental requirements and underpinning the reason for the change.
And I guess what goes hand in hand with that is actually prioritizing and sort of, getting that strategic roadmap of the changes you actually want to.
So we do have it. You must have put that in yourself. That's
Too many choices
to solve.
Mm.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of smaller ones on here. I was hoping a few more bigger ones would stand out. But shall we go with the underpinning reason driving the change as one? Cost is probably more around the justification, so the business value that you need to kind of justify. Data seems to be a massive one. Okay, so I guess it's a case of it's all very well going down a technology transformation, but if the fundamentals aren't right first, then these are things that need to be addressed, regardless of how you're going to progress in your landscape. And maybe the problem is capability, like your resources. You've all got busy jobs to do anyway. How do you convince people to invest the time to kind of push the change through? How does that sound?
I mean, one way to split it is we've got 3 tables, so we could just.
Let's make a note.
Thinking on the fly here, but we could group them, right? So a table could take 3, and then discuss those. So let's go with that.
Okay, so let's go with table 1, 2, and 3 then. So which one we're going to give to table 1?
So let's. I'll do this then. Let's go with visibility, and.
Oh. Who's that at the back?
Oh, okay, you've actually done it for me. So if we do process not clear and visibility to table 1, what problem to solve and resources, table 2.
Yeah.
Resistance to change.
Where's that? That's quite a big one.
Resistance to change. And benefits.
Okay, great. Yep, so visibility, lack of visibility, and the process is not being clear. Table 2 is define the problem to solve, and the resources, which I guess is around internal resources, even external resources. And table 3, resistance to change.
And benefits.
And benefits.
Yeah.
Okay, we good? All right.
What needs to be done?
Right, so
Okay, so effectively we've got
just a few pages.
Topics to cover, and what we're going to do is just do a deep dive, have a conversation amongst ourselves and share around this particular topic.
Yeah.
So if we take what's table 3 go?
resistance to change, I'll write it down here.
So to what extent does the benefits that can be achieved actually influence and shape the whole sort of what we call jumpstart?
Shouldn't that go with what we need to change, the benefits?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So if you say benefits,
Which one do I have?
You have number 1. Yeah, you take this table.
Visibility.
Process is not clear.
table 2.
Table 2, problem to solve and resources. So we'll see. Right, so we have 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, because we were quite late. Right, so I'm sure you've got lots. You took the sensible approach and typed it up. Okay, guys, thank you for that. I think that was really good, interactive. I hope you got a lot out of it. I think let's try and summarize a little bit some of the conversations we had. So, Ryan, do you want to go first on your table?
How much time do we have to?
We've got 15 minutes left, yeah, and we'll have 5 minutes to wrap up at the end.
So,
for our stuff.
had visibility and process not being clear. I don't think we went too much into visibility really. We sort of ran around the process not being clear. So the key thing here was no clear strategic alignment, and please correct me if I'm misstating any of this, but basically no clear strategic alignment of the business processes. From a high level point of view, it's pushed down, but there's no clear alignment from bottom up necessarily. It's difficult to invest into tech due to lack of knowledge on the business case and of what the value is of that tech necessarily and the capabilities. So that was something that came through. Big thing was also once you implement, you don't realize the value. So after you've implemented, you've made an investment in that technology, and then after you've invested, it's difficult to get more investment for further implementations if you haven't realized the full value of the first one, because you come in with a business case, make a big statement, and then the implementation flops, or you don't get the return on investment really. It's a balancing act of understanding delivery at scale. For example, small ring-fenced agile implementations versus big, massively scaled, standardized projects.
Yeah.
And then there was also a general feeling at the table that SAP is evil. There's a general feeling at the table that there's a fear of getting locked into one big vendor, and you can't move away to bespoke solutions and that kind of stuff because it's not an SAP strategy and that kind of stuff. Then it's again business units. We kind of get this a lot. Is business units working in silos, so no single version of the truth between the different business functions, but also the business units, etc. Understanding the benefits of technology came up again. Then it was building and understanding the technology. Same conversation really. It's about understanding the technology's functionality and how it can actually benefit the business before making that investment, but also the benefits, not just the features. Getting alignment with the whole business to make a commitment. So different people in business will have different visions and different strategies and etc. So making a buying decision includes a larger group these days than it used to be. It's not just signed off by 2 or 3 people. It's 50 or 15 people really signing that off. Spoke about being locked into SAP and using smaller bespoke solutions.
Loving SAP.
Yes, Fred. Selective hearing. No, but it was all about basically talking about bespoke solutions, so cloud solutions, etc., and how that is now more sort of plug and play type of things. Resistance from internal business to change, to make changes, again, in terms of the alignment to the strategy. Then there was more general talk around how the process should be managed, and what would be nice to see is basically talking about you don't care about the systems as much as long as the functionality is there to support your business process. It's not about the system defining the business process or defining the strategy. It's about the system supporting the business process that it needs to, or the business function that it needs to perform. So you mentioning managing by exceptions. That's essentially where you want to get to, right? Is you don't want to struggle, etc. You don't care how you manage by exception. You want to manage by exception. The tool doesn't matter.
That should be.
Yeah. I'll try and limit myself in a couple of minutes. So we had defining the. Thank you, Ryan. We had defining the problem to solve and the resources to support the decisions. So one of the clear things was around. It's got to start from the top. It's all about defining. The business strategy has to be clear. Is it IT led or is it business led? It's a common theme. At the end of the day, there's multiple stakeholders involved. And it's about bringing them all. They've all got different imperatives and different drives, different motivations. It's about understanding all of that. What is your starting point? So in some businesses, the initial IT landscape that you've got is just Excel. It's not fit for purpose. In some, businesses, you've invested heavily in SAP or other things over the years. So what's your starting point? Because that's going to dictate how you're going to go forward. Are you going to continue? Are you going to continue to invest in your current systems to a degree, and maybe slowly over time adopt new technology? So I think the upfront architecture is key, because if you get that wrong, you're going to be paying the price for that in later years. Having been burnt by previous implementations, I think the SAP theme may be here a little bit. That obviously blunts the ambition, I think, of some people. Some leadership, the leadership really needs to have this 5 to 10 year vision, and quite often what we see is, they're really looking a couple of years ahead, really. Reluctance to sign up to the business case. How can you put a value on the change? Because quite often, what was mentioned on the table was the same things get repeated. We want to improve customer service, we want to reduce inventory, we want to, throughput, asset utilization needs to increase. Hey, the same things every year. Guys, what are you going to do different? So this is around understanding what some of the intangible things are. If you can break silos, if you can give people end-to-end visibility, what are the benefits of doing that? And the other thing around, so we heard financialization, scenario planning. S&OP, mature Ollie White, it's been spoken about for years. I think what the difference now is the technology has kind of finally caught up to allow you to kind of achieve some of those things. So how do you stitch all that in? On the resources side of thing, is everyone is keen for change, but there's a lack of resource. Everybody has different commitments. And I think taking them away from the day job. So I think, again, what's key there is that the strategy has to be driven from the top end, because that's going to drive the priorities of the people that work. And last one here is around the key people in the organisation will limit the speed to implement. So if you're very dependent on a couple of individuals that are kind of the CEO or the architects, and everything has to pass through them, it's going to slow things down, really. So, again, that probably leads you more towards agile implementations, really. Okay? Thank you.
Great. So lastly, on here, we had resistance to change and benefits. So I think we had a pretty healthy conversation around resistance to change. And in terms of describing what I picked up, was probably one of the first key things is acknowledging that change normally means uncertainty for the business. You can imagine everyone going around, running around saying, oh my goodness, they're going to change processes, I'm going to lose my job, what impact is it going to have on me, on my job, etc. And actually people will start thinking beyond the business into their personal lives as well. So that's one of the big aspects that we came up with, and the antidote to that was more about the need for clarity in the communication of change and understanding the purpose for it. And I think some good points came up about that the challenge really is bigger than just the individual, right? But it changes about the organisation in itself. We had some examples about the fact that with obviously big global corporations, resistance to change comes about between strategic and business units, and everybody actually trying to hold on to what they have or make what they have the norm. I won't give any examples in regions and countries and continents where that happens necessarily. But really, the way to overcome this, and one aspect of it is early engagement, which was a good point that came up from the team. Getting people involved early and getting them to, it didn't work for the England team, but owning the process, right? And that's a really important factor to bring to. Change management we talked about as the process and the vehicle to achieve this, and that the buy-in is there. There will be a point, we know change will bring pain, that's the key thing, and we need to address that and address the reality of it, but also bring across what the vision of that change is going to influence across the business. We talked a lot about the Toyota approach, which I don't know if anyone wants to go into, but they seem to have it down quite well. The other aspect that was good was asking rather than telling. is a good, really good aspect. We'll talk about the regional and global conflicts, which again creates resistance. The big buzzword was efficiency, which normally meant to people, you're going to lose your job. Again, it's all about creating a compelling story, engineering the buy-in. So these are all really, really key things. And we forget about change a lot. We just sort of run ahead with get the business processes right, clean up the data, bring in the technology, and there are humans that make this actually work. The second part of that was really about benefits. And what I really liked was we didn't just sort of say forecast accuracy, inventory reduction. We actually talked about inventory increasing, changing the mix of inventory, increasing the forecast, having more inventory, because that's what recognition of the benefits really brought about. The other positive aspects was more about the business drivers. Although we didn't say business drivers, we were actually talking about creating valuable time that people can spend in doing value-add things. So it's not just the big impact, but it's actually how you spend your time. And I think there was a point around the benefits of actually from a strategic perspective for the business being able to align itself to economic changes and being much more dynamic to respond to them, which was actually a key benefit beyond the typical KPIs. Was there anything I tried to encapsulate?
Change is not always bad.
Change is not always bad.
That's the new mantra.
It's actually supposed to be good, right?
Yeah.
So, thank you very much.
There you go. Well done. I don't know. I just found it there. I thought I couldn't resist pushing the button. Okay. So thanks for the feedback. Okay. So we've just got a few minutes here. Fred, you want to pick this one up? Sorry. This is.
Yeah, sure. I mean, the real ethos behind Jumpstart was really our view, because we work with a lot of companies that are beginning the journey, the change journey, and we come in because it gets largely technology driven to support the process. Our acumen is obviously an end-to-end supply chain planning, so right the way from demand, S&OP, through to shop floor execution, etc. But we recognise that, and in our dealings with businesses, there was a lack of coordination, right? So really, Jumpstart is a way to, first of all, gain that buy-in across the business through a series of, I'm sure a few of you have had taster sessions from us, which are quite a fun sort of thing. We do it free of charge. We're coming to you for almost a day and really just talk through your challenges, show you the system and how it works. It then goes into sort of more of a quick pro mode where discovery reviews, and this is really engineering the business, getting buy-in, creating understanding, clarity, and what impact systems, processes, data changes are going to have, and actually how you can improve it, and sharing our experiences from different customers. And then really through that, it's more a case of let's build a roadmap, a landscape transition, a process transition, and really create those steps that gets you to utopia. It might be 2 years, 3 years, it could be 10 years, but at least there's a clear journey. And this is where a lot of our pedigree as a business sits. And then it's really going through, if you have these challenges, and they're complex challenges, can we prove that to you? We've seen it work here and there, and we've done these specific things that enable it to be much more efficient, so we can show you that, because we've got it in front of us.
Sorry, Fred, just to jump in here, I think it was a general thing that we just software implementers, so what Fred's mentioned is it could be process on the roadmap, it could be process improvements, it could be sweating your current assets or whatever as well, it's not going into sell software and stuff like that.
Sorry, hopefully I didn't.
No, I was just mentioning that specifically.
And really, it's like, I talk to a lot of clients, and so do we, in just underpinning that business case. And ensuring that, look, if you actually, all of you are change agents and you need support of, you're not all encompassing in knowing everything. So with a firm like us, we can then actually support you in championing causes within the business with the knowledge and experience and case studies. So that's really why Jumpstart came about, and it's a very structured approach that we'd be happy to take you through and give you more information on.
Sorry, my slide's not moving.
Yeah, I think this just points out to how you're effectively structuring that. So we talked about it being from months to years, but also understanding the impact through the different levels of the business and the different business streams as well. So you could even move across to integration and talk about wider, it's not a joke, but S4 transformations at some point. And also how you bring all the business units and regions on board.
Yeah, I think the key is that with software or not, it's adaptable in terms of you can take chunks of it over time. You don't have to hit it all in one go.
Yeah, and this, actually, I normally save this for key collateral for, when I'm in and engaging with clients, because it's really a case of, within the space of supply chain planning, do you have an existing platform? What is that existing platform doing? If you're looking at bringing about change, what type of change do you want to bring? We don't have a sales and operations planning process, or we don't have the right tools to support the sales and operations planning process. Because normally, if the tool isn't working, there's a lot of legwork and hard work that goes into bringing about decisions in the business. So it could be that it's a case of extending it and bringing in things like inventory tools that's going to create some benefit in the business, or create some visibility by hooking in all these businesses that don't have common systems and actually have a broad view to make clear decisions. It could be that actually you've got some great systems already, but you want to be more cloud activated, you want to run quicker, etc. So I'll migrate what I have because I don't really have a problem with the way the solution's designed. Or, Christ, it's a right mess. We've bought so many businesses, everybody's doing something different, and we've just signed off 200 million to do a massive transformation, which is going to stress everyone out for the next 10 years. But that's what we need to do to get ahead. So those are the sort of the frameworks within, or perspectives we take when trying to address this. That's enough of me talking.
Yeah, so just a little bit, just 2 slides left, and then look at that, bang on lunchtime.
This is just more about how great we are,
I think this is so it's just a little bit on the depth. So I think we've got a lot of depth. Our group is we're around pushing 50 almost now. We're based in Coventry, so we're all local, relatively local to the UK.
France?
I was going to go on to that. So we've expanded last year. We're into France now as well, so we're covering the whole EMEA region. And we've got offshore capability. We realise we're not the most expensive, we're not the cheapest on the bunch, but we do realise there's an offshore capability needed for some of the, there's elements that we can blend, to get costs down.
The business is largely built for now for a global delivery model that enables us to draw on other regions as well. And to fit in very well with large SIs in order to provide that clear specialist capability.
We do partner with SAP, we partner with Anaplan as well. We've recognised, Anaplan has its purposes in terms of, from our perspective, even on existing SAP customers, as a wraparound, maybe. If you want to do some S&OP, but you're not ready for the IBP journey yet, is Anaplan an option? And quite often, we were talking to smaller customers, they're nowhere near SAP, Anaplan's perfect for them as well. So we've kind of...
I think, Riaz, just a key point, one of the things we really pride ourselves on is the fact that we've got every system from SAP under the sun. So in a lot of cases, actually, we're ahead of SAP, and clients come to us and say, well, what happens if I want to integrate Ariba with IBP in an ECC environment? Or I'm thinking about S4 and I've got ECC, and how do I then transition APO, and how's it all going to work? And we can model that. We do that all the time, so we can give you that pretty quickly. And our employees really enjoy that environment, I think.
So that's not just for demos, but also proof of concept, proof of values, and the like as well.
These are some of the organisations that we worked with. I'm quite proud of this list. It's kind of been built up over many years. They're not small pieces of work we do for them. We're quite extensive in some of the activities that we do for them. It's a combination of SAP improvements generally with the old legacy systems like APO. Legacy. I mean, they're still active systems, but also in terms of the new capability in IBP, Ariba for vendor collaboration and managing directs, and DDMRP. Some of you would have come across the DDMRP as a concept, as an inventory concept. We've built that in APO. It's already available in S4HANA and IBP. We built it in Anaplan. A lot of the capability that we've implemented in these customers over the years around optimization, network optimization, and all the good stuff we've built into Anaplan now as well. And one thing we shouldn't forget is it's not just planning, it's execution as well. So anything to do with manufacturing execution, scheduling is really a big thing that we do. We do a lot of scheduling solutions, tank planning, and a lot of detailed
I think
scheduling
to your
stuff.
point there, what we learn, we build in and use as accelerators. So our implementation methodology is, I want to say agile earlier, but it has a lot of accelerators that enables us to actually go at pace and not waste time trying to figure out what we should do.
And last point is this SAP recognised expertise in supply chain. In the UK, we are the only ones. Globally, there's probably 15 or so. Most of them in Germany. There's one in the US. There's us. That gets given by SAP on the basis of our depth of knowledge in supply chain, really.
And customer feedback, very important.
Absolutely, absolutely, it's a key part of it. So I think we're over. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Applause ourselves. Yeah.